And this used to be a forest, and now it's not, because I favored 3 shulker boxes of leaves over a forest here. Because we need to get more work on the greenification of my base done. But welcome back to another episode of OKMC. It's been a little bit, because this episode's been a long time in the making. I'm saying that very prematurely, but we've gotten some new area popped up. We've seen this house here, right next to Blue's house, which I think I've shown on camera. It's a very nice looking house, and I have no idea who built it, but it definitely does look great. And I'm very happy to see more people who know how to build on the server, because this is a very nice looking build. And it's great that they're so close, because this is one of the villages I had to steal villagers from. So if we just fly straight this way, here we are. This is where we are. We've got the giant hand facing the shattered savannah, and I've been getting asked about this pile of iron. I don't really know why. I'll just break it down, because I've been asked about it so much, and I don't really know why it's a problem. I put it here just for a thumbnail, and then forgot to take it down. It was for a thumbnail. Gam. Sure. Why not? Gam. So we have a whole lot of leaves and a big hand, but... No, you know what? Let's do some stasis chambers right now. So the whole concept for this base is the stasis chambers, which use iron trapdoors with ender pearls suspended in water. So let's build up a quick demo area for this concept. So if you've never used a pearl stasis chamber, the gist of it is this. I swear, I'm very good at. So if you don't know how a pearl stasis chamber works, it's basically this. It uses a redstone line into an opened iron trapdoor, or regular trapdoor works as well, and it'll snap closed and the pearl will hit it. And that is basically how it works, and as long as the pearl is in there, you can teleport to this with the press of a button. So I want one of these across the whole build. So we're going to throw this down, we leave it like that, and we have multiple across. I want like a control panel where I can click a button and it'll teleport me to the next. So I think I have an example present here. We have this button. Obviously, this is not permanent. This will... I heard that and it scared me. I can't lie. So if we hit this button, it'll take a minute just because of the way it's built, and we'll teleport up here and be given a new ender pearl to throw down into here. So the plan is to have it so you can jump down here into a water pod. We click this, get teleported up, and be given a new ender pearl. And we can just add a new one, like that. Alright, so I figured out a good spot to put our 5 teleporters. This will have to be removed eventually. If we look over at the back, it is here. So we're going to need to probably move this in some way or something. But if we look over here, we can fill up the stone wall up to the top. So, and then we can wire each one individually. I'm going to have water at the bottom of this and a room filled with buttons to teleport to. So let's finish mining that pod underground. So now I've gotten all my buttons set up, so if we hit a button and... That was depressing. Sorry. So if we hit a button and fly up, we'll see that appropriate one turn. And that works for all of them, and please excuse my messy redstone, but it works. I've tested it fully, and it fully works. So we've got all of our buttons. Now we're gonna need we're gonna need to set up our chambers, which I think I'll leave for now. This is plenty of progress on this project, and I'm quite happy with it. I'm gonna move this down. We're gonna need to get a build design for this inner area. So let's move on to our next task for today, and that's a quick and dirty Glowberry Farm. And I kind of want to try to tackle a moss farm as well, but I'm not sure if that's possible. I think it is, but I'm not 100% sure. So let's make a quick and easy Glowberry Farm. So for this Glowberry Farm, all we're going to use is one Glowberry, and I made a dropper, not a dispenser. So for this Glowberry Farm, it's very, very simple. We're just going to need a couple blocks. I'm going to use iron because I like it. This is very temporary. I want to do a greenhouse build for this. We're just going to put our glowberries here. We're going to put our block of iron here, our dispenser like that, so it's facing there, and 2 observers facing into each other to make an observer clock, like this. And then we're going to want to go into this dispenser's UI, throw in a bit of glowberries. And you just hold here and hold right click. Like this. And this is our Glowberry Farm. Very, very, very simple. And we're going to need to make a toggle switch, since this is an annoying sound. And there we go. We've got 1 stack of glowberries. So let's move you for now, so we don't have to listen to the noise. So we're going to need to do a greenhouse build later for all of our glowberry and all sorts of farms. My mouse is telling me it doesn't have battery. This episode is a mess. Ipsode. We have plenty of glowberries for more breeding of the build. And with that, we've got our first teleporter done. And I'm going to click this button. And it is a bit long of a wait, but it does send you up, and you got an ender pearl to refill it from this dropper. So it's a very simple system, but I think it works surprisingly well, and I think it could be cool to actually leave these exposed, at least like covered in glass, because it's kind of a cool looking system. So I'm over here at the EnderMerder to gather up a bunch more ender pearls, and yeah, I came up with a cool new name, EnderMerder, because it mends my tool. I kind of like that. I'm calling it that. And now, my friends, I'm flying away from the EnderMerder. 6 full shulker boxes of ender pearls to put away into our stasis chambers. So now the method for loading this is you just place this, and it very quickly unloads into these hoppers, like so. Into here. So it'll fill up completely, and when it's done, it will stop pulling pearls out. And this allows us to have a grand total of 29 stacks of pearls per loader. This should allow us to use the system 29 times 16 times before having to reload it, which is pretty darn solid, I think. Just gonna cap it off to make it look a little bit neater, like this. And there we go. I think it's a fairly nice looking system, despite its asymmetry. I think it definitely could have looked worse. So you just place your shulker up here, like so, and it'll just take one. And when it's full, it won't even take your shulker when you break it back. So it's a perfect little system for what we want it for. And it's super simple to build yourself. And obviously this doesn't look very good, so we're gonna have to put on Optifine in order to make it look good later. But for now, I just want an observatory so we can look down the massive hole, which I think could look pretty cool up here. So we've got our super simple system. You place the shulker box, it'll empty as much as it can, and then you can take it just like that. Super simple. And as for these shulker boxes of ender pearls, I want to keep them down here. 5 shulker boxes set up like this, so you can just grab them just like the system up there. So we're going to want to lay out a little bit like this. We're going to want our 5 iron blocks up here with stone buttons on them, which will allow us to pick up shulker boxes of ender pearls. Like this. So we can just click the button and get a shulker of ender pearls. Perfect. But I have all of my stuff down there. Why would I ever want to be sent up here? Well, I want to turn each of these fingers into a farm of some sort, so I want one of them to be a super smelter for sure. But I don't really have ideas for the other fingers, but I'm sure I'll come up with them as we go on. There we go. I think I have a nice looking system, and it's not perfect, but I think it looks good enough. I'm sure I can come up with a bit more designing to this to make it look a little bit better. Like, for example, I think I might want to turn this all into spruce. Oh no. Yeah, I'm thinking you replace that with a spruce block. And then put spruce trapdoors along the other side? Yeah, let's try that. So I've just realized that baby zombies can actually hurt my traders, which is not at all ideal, actually. So, yeah, that's... definitely could have been better result here. Oh gosh, they're all zombies. I'm in deep with that. Although it's not a new day for you guys, it is a new day for me. I have been away from Oka MC for a while. It's been a couple days, and by days I mean it's been about a week. I haven't been on. But I'm back, I'm refreshed, and I'm ready to do tons more projects. And I know this is in the exact same video as those previous clips, but it's been about a week between those. So I want to start by saying I don't remember what I was planning before, because the break was kind of sudden and I didn't really know what I was going to do. So right now, you may remember I took a screenshot of a spot in the end with a gateway right next an end city, which people probably guessed. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably easy to guess. It's probably very easy to guess. I wanted to make a shulker shucker, I think is what they're called. So let's get to the end and capture some shulkers. This does not go well. Oh gosh, flying over the void is terrifying. I should have just used the gateway. And there it is. We're at the main islands. And now we have a 25,000 block journey to get to that end city. So, I'll see you in a bit. So, during this little travel session, I'm just gonna say this doesn't go well. I don't manage to catch shulkers, but I still do want to try making a shulker farm because, you know, shulker boxes are quite good, and I think I could sell quite a few on the shopping district. So, I still plan to make it, but it's not this episode. So here we are. We're approaching my first challenge. I need to catch this. That didn't work. Okay. That's fine. I don't really know how to do this, to be completely honest. Alright, so I think I may have a chance here. And I've got one. I've got one. Okay. Let's transport this. Hopefully he doesn't die on the way. Did you just attack the boat? No! Very... Alright, another one has been captured. This time I've got to be a bit extra careful with not killing it accidentally on the way there. Oh, okay, this is really frustrating. So I certainly plan to make a sugar farm eventually, but right now it's just not feeling very good since, you know, that's quite a bit of trying, quite a bit of effort for very little results, and it's just very difficult. So I clearly am not prepared, so let's head back to the overworld and switch gears into something else, since I do have other things I want to do. So I do know that this episode has been very, very, very scattered, and that's not for no reason. This has been obviously recorded over many, many days, and some of these projects I just have not been prepared for, and I feel really silly for even attempting some of them. But I mean, we live and learn. I'm planning. I do want to finish that shulker farm at some point. I do want to make I think I mentioned a moss farm earlier at some point. But for now, we're gonna stop doing anything to do with farming since clearly the world doesn't like me for that right now. So let's work on this. At the beginning of the episode, I gathered up a whole lot of oak leaves, and that's for more greenifying of the build. So let's do that since, you know, it's been that's been like the objective of the build, and I think that we can finally make it look a little bit better. So without any further ado, let's get started on this build. Ready? Let's go. And the vining mode, and yeah, this is quite intense. That is about a shulker and a half of leaves, which is quite a bit. And it's not done, obviously, because I only have 3 of the fingers mossed, so I didn't want to put any vines on this until I mossed it. And I did literally nothing on the back. The back, at least it's solid, I guess, but other than that, that's all I've done with it. It doesn't look that much, but I think it does improve the look of the build quite substantially. It's starting to look actually detailed, and I mean, there's clearly something missing, and I'm gonna have to mess around in a creative world before I can figure out what that is. But it's starting to look good. And that's about it. I'm gonna start gathering up materials for a mob farm, a very large mob farm, as I want to start being able to be self-sufficient in gunpowder instead of spending all of my diamonds on rockets. And I want to get string as well, and I want to get bones. As you know, I want to make a I just want to make an everything farm that requires bone meal, which obviously requires a whole lot of bones. So, mega mob farm coming fairly soon. No, next episode. But that is gonna do it for this episode, since it's been a lot of work, and even though I've gotten pretty much nothing done, I've spent a whole lot of time on the server for this episode. This is probably the longest recording period for an episode ever, and I mean, it's not like we did nothing. We got our first stasis chamber built up, and we got some vines placed, and we started to figure out some of the kinks in getting a shulker farm going. But if you have enjoyed the episode, like the video, subscribe. It's been a lot of fun to record, and be on the lookout for the next one. Goodbye.